Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got B,
What's up, y'all?
and we'll probably have others join in later. Now, with that being said, on your way in, make sure to subscribe or follow depending on your platform. If you want to listen to this podcast on the audio platforms, all the links are down below. Also, make sure to check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description Podcast, over there on YouTube. We also have an Instagram, which I really need to work on. My fault. But is opinion_Pete's_network. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Did you hear? And I'm only bringing it up because I just saw it and I thought it was fake. I really thought it was fake. Did you know there's a sperm racing league?
Oh, what?
There's a sperm racing league. Oh, I'm not bullshit here, huh? I'm watch. Hold on, watch. I thought it was. Do you see the screen?
Uh-huh. The naked choose world for sperm race.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, let's play this video.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's legit sperm racing.
Oh, shoot, that is wild.
Yeah, it was done in LA.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
Yeah, it's a real new sport that just happened, I think, 3 days ago. I thought it was fake.
I wonder what's the grand prize for the first.
I think I saw it. Hold on a sec. That's what I'm trying to find.
Oh, snap.
Oh my dude, I thought this was fake. I learned about this like well, like I said, 3 days ago. And then I'm like, is this real? This is real.
Wow. That is wild, man.
That is well,
Uh,
I don't know if you heard, but it's a $10,000 prize.
yeah,
So
man.
basically, if your sperm wins, you win $10,000.
I mean, at this point, how OF is larger than ever.
Right?
I
Exactly. Exactly.
might as well
You
throw
know,
one in.
right? If you're gonna do it, you might as well use it productively.
Uh-huh.
Shoot.
Yeah, man. Might as well, man.
I mean, all these women be complaining about incels. Well, guess what? Now they have something to do. Now they have
Yeah.
something to do, right? You know?
Uh-huh. They might as well add more to it. You could have an ID of supreme sperm.
Man.
Women can pay you top dollar for your sperm, bro. You can say I got championship sperm.
Who's gonna be the
I can
Kobe?
actually see that going far too.
Who's gonna be like the Tom Brady or the Michael Jordan? I mean, think about it, we got slapping as a sport.
Uh-huh.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, man. You can have the Hercules.
That is, that
You
is
can be a titan.
man. What? Hey! It's called cream sports, man. What the? the? Let me ask you, man. Does this say something about our society?
Oh yeah, we were gone, or we're extremely bored. One or the other, yeah. Because this is Like who thought of this?
You know,
Why was that a thought? Like, I wonder who has the fastest sperm. Because like I
like
think,
would it be better to do sperm racing than to be a sperm donor?
yeah, well, 'cause I think donors, I think they get like what is it, $25, $50 for their to donate sperm or something like that. Um, so if you have a chance of winning $10,000, yeah, I think that sounds like a better option, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, you can say that you have championship sperm.
Yeah.
You know, you have your sperm is verified. True. So hey, I I mean for the ones who like to shoot the seed.
You know what this reminds me of? Hancock. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Right.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is wild
Oh,
though.
man, that's it's not harming no one. I mean,
Listen,
yeah, it definitely show where our society is right now. Don't get me wrong, you know, you know,
but yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, if we're gonna have OnlyFans, I mean, why not have sperm racing?
but I might as well, you know, like you say, real OnlyFans. Well, what's the harm in sperm racing?
Exactly. And honestly, I think it's better. So
At least you're not putting yourself in the negative effects of pornography.
come
Oh, this censorship is so dumb.
yeah, it really is.
Uh,
It is. It, you know, since you want to talk about censorship, I'll just say this real quick. This is why I have a lot of issues because I honestly I think it's messed up our speech. Honestly,
it is.
like and you can kind of tell.
It
At least
really is.
when I listen to people like words the because everybody's so worried about things. It's like words are kind of like they're screwing up.
It
I
is. Like I said, we're not saying real words at this point.
no,
And
well, it's not even that we're not saying real words. We're also redefining words,
yeah, exactly.
and it
Read the
just go ahead.
no, go ahead. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, no, to me, I just don't think that this is good for our society. Like I
Right,
understand what they say. Well, investors, we gotta watch what we say because of the. But I'm an adult,
right,
you know, like this channel. I don't promote this channel for children. This is not a kids channel.
right,
This is a bunch of grown men having a conversations as grown men.
right.
But we can't have this conversation because oh well it sounds bad to our investors and blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, we're adults.
How come? How come YouTube just or that's all these social media platforms? When you're about to upload a video and you there's an option saying what do you rate this video? M for mature, E for everybody. You know,
Okay, well,
so
hold on. They technically do. The problem is it kills your video. So that's
okay,
the issue with
gotcha.
it. So they do have it where you can mark it as this isn't for kids, but the problem is that once you do that, it makes it so your video doesn't get promoted. So, and which I think is
Yeah,
bull because
yeah,
like
exactly,
I understand it shouldn't be promoted to kids, but like for example, it should have a rating system.
exactly. You know. Or it can show up on the thumbnail, like immature or something. Like,
Yeah,
so
like I've always said that for years. Like when it comes to YouTube, we should have a rating system.
yeah, exactly.
Like
You
absolutely,
know,
because I mean, again, like the fact that we can't have adult conversation as an adult, I don't know. I just think that's functionally bad for our society, to the point where you can't even use words, and these words mean
exactly,
something.
exactly,
Like I just don't think this is a good thing.
exactly. It's not. It's not. And and especially when you try to pretty much censor things that are important. That's not a happy image, a happy scenario. And you have to you have to use certain words to tell people the extremity of the situation.
Well, it's
You
not.
know, this is
It's not just that. It's just that words have meaning, and it's important to like words have meaning for a reason, and
hmm
sometimes it's important to have these conversations. Yeah, the conversations are uncomfortable, but
yeah,
if you want to go ahead and get the best options, you gotta have these conversations.
you got to.
It's important to.
hmm Especially because, like I said, we're adults.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
and I'm totally fine. Like that's what I have YouTube Kids for. Now,
which I hate because they blocked the comment section.
well, no, they had to. They had to. I know. I actually am fine with it.
Yeah, well, some videos are considered as kid videos, but they're not. Like, so sometimes, like when I'm trying to look for a song and I want to read the comments, it says it's a kid song, and it's not. It's just a regular song. So it's like, what is this? You know, but I think that's because of the rain. Because it's just messed up. It needs to be worked on, like for real, for real. But no, I get the kids though. I get, even though I still want to read comments, but
Well, no,
I
well,
get it. I
the
get
reason, yeah,
it.
I mean,
I get it.
I'll just say it just in case people listen to this and they don't know why it happened. It's because
Mm,
you had a bunch of weirdos.
exactly.
You had a bunch of weirdos in the comment sections, saying some weird crap about people's children.
Exactly.
And so, in that sense, like I agree with it. I
Exactly.
mean, there was
That,
news report. Oh,
that's the thing. Is these damn creeps out here.
huh. Hey,
Uh,
Adam, are you there?
Yo, yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
what up, man?
oh, what's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up, D?
Cool.
What's up, bro?
Uh, hey, quick question for you.
Yeah,
How do you handle your kids checking out online content?
I okay. So my daughter had a phone, but she recently lost her privilege for that.
Uh-oh.
But what would happen is for her, for example, there's a app, and I forgot the app because we had changed our phone. We didn't put on that specific one, but it's basically like allows you to control pretty much everything from your phone. How long
Mm,
she's able to be on the phone for, if you want to give her extra minutes, what she's allowed to download at the store, the website she's allowed to visit. It's like it's not like one of those, oh, it's an app that helps. No, this is a very in-depth app, and a lot of parents were using it, and it really did. She wasn't able to have access to it. I can do access on my phone or her phone. I'd be able to see what she was downloading, what she had looked, to let me know. She tried to sign into certain things. Oh, send me an email, uh, more so than anything. If she requested more time, it would send that over. So it was very in depth. That's how I controlled hers. As far as it goes for YouTube, now I had got my kid the smart TV, a small one, and
Hmm.
put it in the boys' room. So what happened with that was they were logged in because it was on Google. It was a Google one, so it was logged in on my stuff, so they could see what I was looking at or listening to, favoriting stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff was like, yeah, maybe they shouldn't, because it's a lot of manga type things there, But of course, with
mm,
that, it's blocked out. But my son got into it, so I'm happy about it. But it wasn't like explicit things. It was just like things here and there, different things. So he was
yeah.
maybe open to different things, but he always didn't watch it. They mainly just listen to music. They watch their own little scary things on YouTube, like Poppy's Playground, whatever that type of it is. Um, So I didn't have to worry that much. And then whatever they watched, it came on my YouTube, so I was able to see what they were watching. So if I ever
Mhm.
needed to correct anything, I can always correct it or sit down and have a talk with them about, why, because they're kids, so they won't always be able to just be like, okay, I understand. They're going to be like, well, why can't I? And I can understand that. There are some times when I'm open to the conversation of explaining why. And there are some times when I'm just like, well, I said no because I'm dad and that's mom. And mom said no. I said no. That's the end of the discussion. Like, but why? Like, I understand you're asking, and I'm telling you because my name is Dad, and I told you no. So it'll that. But for the most part, when we're watching or we're looking to see what they're getting into, there's no way for them to really be exposed to it. Of course, things still happen, of course. Whether that's on our watch or just because somebody labels something and then it's a little clip of it, but it's actually not. Like when you click something, you get rickrolled on YouTube, like
Right.
like that type of stuff. Like Facebook and Instagram, like they're like, oh, you can't show explicit things, but there's channels and things where people can put things on and it'll be up for a while before it gets taken down. So I expect pretty
Mhm.
much the same thing to be on YouTube. So I don't let them be on kid YouTube anymore per se. I'm okay with them being on regular YouTube, just heavily monitored.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me also ask you this. I mean, I wasn't really done with my point, but it's fine because
Well, go ahead. No, I want to
no, no,
make sure
no,
I
no, no,
answer.
no, no. I want to ask you. No, I want to ask you because like what we were just talking about with censorships and our issue with it, and I want to see if it changes from a parent's perspective. So, how do you feel about censorship when it pertains to the internet?
I feel like you should let me do my job in censorship because that's my child and I'm the parent.
Mhm.
And as such, I should be able to be the one to control what my child is exposed to and what I'm okay with them being exposed to. There are
Yeah.
some parents who are more like, this is my kid, but this is also my friend. And then there are some parents that are like, no, this is my kid and I'm their parent. And, we're not friends. Like, this is my kid. And we might be able to have a friendship later on in life. But as of right now, my role is to make sure that, they know what's good. They're a productive member of society and, they're not watching something that they shouldn't, I feel like they should not be exposed to. Like, you have some parents that are like, well, PG-13 rating, they're not 13 years old, they can't watch it. Some are like PG-13 is a guide, and I feel like my child is able to watch this. Like my dad, for example, my dad was into a lot of horror movies, and I liked horror movies too. So, and I got into it because of him. So I watched movies like Event Horizon, Wishmaster,
Oh,
Leprechaun, things like that with my dad, and he was fine with it. Like
Leprechaun in the Hood.
it's not like it's set. It's like it might be a scene here, it might be a scene there, but it's
Yeah.
like you already know what tits and boobs are. At 8 or 9, you joke around about it. You know what they are. You find a way to see what they look like, whether that's from like a health book or science class or whatever. Like what's what to
Yeah.
a certain degree, you know. But imagine like how it is when you're in elementary school and then you go to middle school and high school, and we all know what the things are, but it's different ways in how we talk about them all through those levels, and that's kind of how it is. That's how I see it. Like, okay, I don't want my kid exposed to these things, and I do my best to make sure that they're not. But that's at the house, and that's at while they're around me. When they're at school, they might be exposed to something, no matter how much control I wish I had, or that I'm telling the teachers I do or do not want them to look or do. And that's because it's other individuals there, and those other individuals also have parents, whose parents may not be as involved in their life as kids are. Like at the place at my apartment complex, there's this one kid I don't want my son being associated with or talking to, and I told him that. He's like, why? Because I'm like, I don't like that kid. That kid's a bad influence. That kid's a little badass. His parents are beating his ass or doing, they're not doing their job as a parent should be.
Yep.
Like, why the fuck is this kid out here cursing out a little old Asian lady while, at night while you're writing? I watched the thing happen. Like, he wasn't there. It wasn't there, or I didn't walk up on it. It was like, I seen the situation. She was walking out. She was going to the little car that was parked there. He's riding his bike, comes up out of nowhere, starts cursing at this old lady and everything. I don't know if they had any previous interaction. I don't, but the interaction I seen right then and there was unacceptable, And I'm not saying that my kid is like, perfect angel, because they're kids. I know they're going to get into things and do things that I'm aware of when they're around me, and I'm not aware of when they're not around me. But I do know that my son listens to me. And I know that when I told him not to talk or be around this kid, you can say hi, like if you see him at school or whatever, that's fine. But I don't want you playing with him. I don't want you to be around him. And my daughter, who's a little tattletale, will let me know. She'll let me know if it is or is not happening. Just like my son will let me know if I tell my daughter something and she's not doing it. Because, of course, if I tell on you, then I'm mad and I want to tell on you because you told on me. So that's how the situation goes.
Oh, yeah.
So for the most part, I know that he's actually listening. He's not talking to this kid because I don't want him to be exposed or, be a part of something that's like, oh, I don't know what this future is for this kid, but at this point right now, I feel like this kid's going to be involved with shit that I don't want you to be involved in. He's going to be around people I don't want you to be around. He's going to do shit that, I know can get you in trouble. It might seem fun, and all for all beings, it could be. But think about it this way too. If you get caught doing something you're not supposed to be doing, you get in trouble. Not only are you in trouble with me and your mom, you're in trouble with the people who called you. You're in trouble with those parents. You're in trouble. The trouble goes around. It's not just like here. Everyone knows you got in trouble, and everyone knows what you did. And it could be something embarrassing. Then what? Let's say that you stole a candy bar. I stole a candy bar when I was a kid, and I got caught. So, it's like not like your dad's not perfect. Dad also did things when he was a kid. It's growing pains, and I'm trying to help and protect you from it. But I also know I can't protect you from everything. So let me tell you the story of what happened to me, and hopefully this story can impart some knowledge and make sure that you don't make that same mistake that I did. Don't do this. If you want something, we're in a better position than how it was for me growing up. If you want something, all you got to do is come to me and ask, and we'll talk about it, go over it. Most of the time, I'll get it for you because you guys are good in school. You guys, it's okay. I'll get it for you, whether that's this week or usually I get things for them on Thursdays, next Thursday. But I know I got off a little bit of topic, but basically, allow me to be the parent. I don't want nobody else to parent my child, but tell them what they should or should not watch. If I feel like my kid can do something that your kid can't, then that's fine. I'll do that with my kid. To let me know and I understand that this is how it is. You're the parent of your own child, and I respect that. If they come over my house, I'll make sure that this isn't exposed to them, or this isn't on, or they're playing these type of games. That's fine. I have that type of control, and I'm not going to say that, oh, well, I know so and so's parents doesn't want you to do this, but you can do it here. That's opening the floodgates for me to get in trouble, and that's also opening up the floodgates for me, letting other parents, other kids know that if your parent's not here, then you can do this, because that's going to get them in trouble later on in life, and I wouldn't want them to be doing the same thing to my kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. I mean, yeah, you definitely went a little bit off topic, but it's fine. But yeah, so I guess I'll just bring it back to like what me and B were talking about online censorship. Well, let me ask you this last argument. So the other argument that I know some parents make is that no matter what, you're not always going to be around your kids or know what they do. So you kind of want other people you want them to put things in place. Do you think it's okay? And you think it's fair that things had to be changed for everybody else because one parent feels a certain way? Like, is it okay for, I don't know, for example, to ban a book when nobody else has an issue with it, but one parent complains
No,
and it has to affect everybody else?
that's not right. If I have an issue it depends on the subject of it. What I'll say, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
fair
let's
enough.
just say we're doing a normal book, right? One moment, G. I think this is my
I know he's
What was the question you asked?
well, no, I mean you can't really answer. You don't have kids, but just if you want to talk about anything about censorship, and
Oh,
basically we were
okay,
talking about the
okay.
fairness of, is it fair for everything to be censored because one person has an
hello,
issue? Oh, my fault. Okay, he's back. Yeah,
hello.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't think it's right. But this is what I think. I think if there's a book, and because normally right now, like you said, it's mainly books. Not really videos. It's mainly books. So if there's a book in the school library, and if I read it, and I can tell that the book is okay, but I'm like, I don't want my kid reading it, but there's nothing wrong with the book. Okay, then I don't want my kid reading that book. It's a library. What I think should happen should be like a little thing where, hey, these are the books that are in the library. I know it's not all of them, but it's kind of like subjects like this. They might need to check the book out for like an exam or maybe a written test they got to do or an essay, right? Okay, so if it's that, then I want to be able to know the book that my kid checked out, like what it is pertaining, let me go over it a little bit, be like, it's okay for them to read. I feel like it's okay, whatever. But if it's like one of those books that I've seen somebody read, it's an adult book, but it's meant to be like, it's an adult book, but it's meant to be fun. It's a funny adult book. But the way the art is done and the way it's being read is meant as if you're like reading it to like a kid. Like 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 Sarah has a hairy bush, for example, right?
That's a
And
wild
it's like
title.
right, because we're adults. It's a wild
Yeah.
title. But if a child goes and picks that up, what is it? It's just the title. The
Yeah.
child knows nothing more than what he's reading, which is a book talking about Sarah's hairy bush. Sarah has a hairy bush. I think it's time for she needs to trim it. Sarah went and tried to get some assistance, and when they tried to cut the bush, it broke the razor. Sarah's bush was just too bushy and hard. Sarah then tried to trim the bush and use a special type of wax. The wax did not do anything, and it ended up hurting Sarah in the end. So, as you can see, uh, that type of thing to an adult, we get the hidden meanings behind it, and it's funny. We're laughing because we understand exactly what's going on, what they mean, what it means, and then what the other meaning is too. And the picture can just be a regular picture, like of a bush, and Sarah's trying to chop down the bush and everything, or trim the bush down, or throw like some type of thing on the bush to get it, and it's just not going. It's too much of an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
A regular book to a regular kid. They don't know. Now, if you're a kid that's been exposed to some things, then you might read that book and think it's funny because you're like, I know what that means, right? And then if you're a type of kid that hasn't been exposed to things, I'm not saying that you've been like guarded or anything, but it's just like you don't see the double meaning by it. And it's just as that. Like you read the book and the book is just talking about that. I don't really know. It takes for somebody else to tell you the situation for you to now see it with a new pair of eyes.
Or
And then
age. Or age.
or age, yeah. But definitely depends on the age, because even if you tell someone, they might not get it. But now you can possibly look at it with in a new way. So now you're like, oh, I get it, and then you think it's funny, and then then that goes from you to you telling somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, and you see how that works, and that's all just within the school. Now, if I see the book that they're checking out, and I'm like, I myself have dark humor, and I find a lot of things funny, I'm not going to complain about the book being in the library, but I'm just going to say I don't want my kid to read the book. Simple as that, And the library card should have a thing on what books the kid can't check out, like, hey, this, and this. Now, if it's something for a report, they should be able to bring a paper there and be like, hey, I need a book based off of like the subject of this for a report I'm writing. And they can be told, okay, well, we can give you these books now. And then we sent the message or an email to your parents saying that, hey, based off of their personal things, they might not want you to read this book, but hey, it's for a report. So do they want you to have access to this book to get it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that way everybody's happy. It gives you some control over what's going on inside of the school in the sense of what your child can and can't do or check out. It doesn't make it to the point to where you're taking away from other people who are just like, I don't care what my kid reads. If they're reading a book, I'm just happy about that. But some parents are like that. And
but I just kind of want to bring it back to social media when it comes to censorship. And just my big thing is that I just to me, I just think that it's really, really bad. And I understand that, people on the internet, you don't know what people are going into. You don't know what people are getting into. At the end of the day, I just think that it's really, really bad to be trying to change our language and trying to censor everybody just because of what some people say. I just don't think it's good for our mental or our society or even our common speech. That's why, like when me and B were saying before Adam came on, that I agree that there should be like a rating system for YouTube, and the fact that they never implemented that, it's insane to me. Like there shouldn't be a problem in having an adult conversation. It shouldn't be a problem with people, having to share their opinions, especially when we're at the point where you have to censor words and what people are saying. I think that's a big problem. The bit I'm trying to say is that these words have meaning for a reason, and we need to be able to communicate with each other. And we need to be able to have these hardened conversations. We need to have these conversations of ideas, whether they're good or bad, because ideas should be allowed to be challenged. But beyond that, we are adults. And at no point in time should you be telling a grown adult what they can say or can't say. I understand what people say, well, it's our platform, and I understand that, but the problem is that when you have such a monopoly of the public square, I just don't see any. I just blanked. I don't know why I blanked. I just blanked.
I think that if you want to limit people to what they can and can't say, well, first of all, it kind of goes against the freedom of speech. But if it's a platform that you have, or you have a platform on a platform, for example, like this, and you're inviting somebody on, then you should let them know beforehand, hey, we're going to have an interview, and I just, it goes to everybody.
Well, that's not really the argument. What you're making right there is not really the argument.
Oh, what's the argument?
So the argument is more about how these platforms will basically what the hell? The argument is more about how these platforms regulate our speech and where we can't have certain conversations. When I'm like, no, we should be allowed to have these conversations. Like for example, like let's say we're having a conversation about assault. Basically, if you do that, YouTube will go in and derank your channel. Now, I understand it's a serious conversation and you don't want to kind of like I understand how
When did
serious.
they add that word?
Huh?
That you can't say that now?
Well, there's a lot of words you can't say. So
I
because
know two of them.
yeah, so like I'll just bleep this out.
Yeah, I know
So
that one.
and I'm like, that's BS because that's a conversation, and sometimes conversations get dark like that.
I feel like they're trying to take away from them, like you said, the meaning, but it goes both ways. If you try and censor something, then you're taking away the seriousness of the conversation, like you said, and the meaning of the word going forward. But then again, you're also trying to make it where people who might be triggered by the words are triggered. But if you're triggered by the words, then you shouldn't be watching the video in the first place.
Well,
Or
I also think the bigger repercussions is disrupting our speech.
I think that if that's the case, then the solution should just be this. We should be able to have a conversation the way we want to, in the way that we want to, on the platform. That's the original way. And then since YouTube is the one who has an issue with it, YouTube should hire out to individuals that are able to then censor certain words on there and edit it, the edited version, and then push that out too. And for someone who wants to watch something, they should be able to be offered the option of either hearing the original,
No,
how it was
I don't even
intended.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I said it before. There should be a rating system. I mean, okay,
Well,
put
yeah,
like this.
but
Put like
you
this.
can
They
you
hold
can
on,
do
wait,
both.
hold on. Let me finish. They actually, which I explained to be earlier, they actually do have a rating system on YouTube, but if you do it, it kills your video, and I don't agree with that. I believe that yes, like for example, that's why you have YouTube Kids for. Yes, you should like that should not be promoted to people who aren't kids. I understand kids could be on here. You don't know who's watching it. There's an argument there where
Not your fault.
we're taking away responsibility from the parent to raise their children, which I kind of I that's a different argument, but I have an issue with that. I shouldn't like yes, I agree. It maybe shouldn't be pushed to people who have kids account, but other than that, I should have a rating system where it says, okay, this is the rating that we had. This is the harsh conversation. So if when you go into it, you understand that there may be some really vicious things said. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not fully against like I tell people, I'm a free speech advocate, but I'm not an absolutist. I do agree certain things do need to be censored. I'm not one of those people that say nothing should be censored. But at this point, it's just getting to the point where it's getting childish and ridiculous to the point where, because the argument is, well, it's their platform, it's their rules. The problem is that they have so much power, so much control over the public square that I just don't think that it's good for a platform, any company, to have this much power, just this much power over speech like this. It's kind of my major point.
Well, this is how I see it. I see it that if there are going to be people who complain that there should be a monitoring system in place,
There is.
one, why can't you monitor your own child? What's wrong? A lot of parents want to take that responsibility off of themselves and shift it to other beings or entities when there are things that that they don't like, or when someone gets in trouble. Then it's like the blame gets shifted, and when the question should be not why don't you have, the question should be where was I and what was I doing to not know or not see what my child was doing? Where was
Yeah.
what was I doing to not have implemented a system to where I can be informed about what's going on and what was being watched or what is being accessed? That's really the question that should be, not why doesn't YouTube have this? Because then it's like, okay, so now you are asking for someone else to step in and be the parent. That's basically what it sounds like. And a lot of people want to pick and choose when they do that. They want to just move and shift responsibility and blame. And that's not how it should be. If you're the parent, you're the parent 24/7, nothing less, nothing more. If you don't want responsibility, then you shouldn't be a parent, or you should give that up and give that responsibility to the other parent if
No.
that's something that you want. Or
And
just say, okay, there's no YouTube in this house, and just block it out
no. And
in
even
this
with,
specific situation.
but even with that being said, I mean, my point is, at the end of the day, that, again, I'm not fully against censorship. There's some things where I'm like, yeah, like if you're trying to promote hate speech, if you're talking about terrorist acts or whatever, then okay, I'm fine with that. But having harder conversation because I don't want you to say it because it makes me feel bad or it's harsh. Yeah, I have an issue with that.
If
I
it makes
definitely
you
have an
feel
issue with
bad, why are you watching it? And I know
that.
not
Exactly.
you, but
No,
to
no,
them, like,
exactly. That's the one thing I think people like. It's just weird when I listen to people because, I mean, well, I guess it's kind of our fault too, or I should say the internet's fault for like deranking like people, like muting people or banning people. I think that should absolutely be promoted. If you don't like what somebody says, or you like, that's something that I do. Like if I don't like what somebody says, or if I don't like the content that they do, I don't watch them. Or like there, what you call it? Back in the day, like years ago, I remember I was watching this YouTuber. He did video games. Then all of a sudden, he went on a racist tirade, and I just unsubscribed from his channel. And I
yep.
never saw that dude again.
But
Right.
people get upset and they want somebody else to take action for in a way of saying, I want to be avenged or revenged. I feel like my ears, my brain, my whatever have been assaulted, and I want somebody to take responsibility, and I want someone to make them responsible for their actions against me. Now, granted, in that situation, you knew who he was and what he was doing. But when he went on that tirade, that was something totally new against his character. And you're like, okay, is this how he really is? Is this how this person is? I can't support this. I can't be a part of that. And like
Yeah.
you said, you just unsubscribe.
Yeah, and
Right.
don't get me wrong, I do agree if it gets too extreme. Like remember back when we were younger, like people well, I guess now kids don't know. Shoot, clans used to have channels. Like back in the day, go back to the early 2000s. So yes, I agree that there was some extreme content back on YouTube back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I I mean, and I remember them days. And so yes, like I said, that's why I'm not fully against censoring things. But when we're at the point where you can't say certain words or because technically to me YouTube, well, these channels can't, some people are making a lot of money and it's technically a business. And to basically deny me money because you don't like a word that I said, or to like derank me, I think there's something really wrong with that. The point is to have these conversations and share these different ideas so the best idea wins out.
I don't
And
think that
and
the
so
person should be demonetized because it doesn't matter what YouTube says at the end of the day. if you put something on the video, if you put something on YouTube, for example, and enough people watch it, what happens? There's still revenue earned. And what
Not really
happens when
monetized.
you don't get that revenue?
Yeah.
No, revenue is still earned. YouTube still gets money.
Yes,
You
YouTube
don't get it.
Yeah.
YouTube gets it. So it's still money being made. And it goes into YouTube's coffers. And then that's just, an increase for them. So it doesn't really matter when they say demonetized. That just means that we're not paying you, but they're still getting paid. They're still getting paid from the commercials or whatever.
Well, no. If I think when it's demonetized, they don't play commercials on your channel anymore. So that's what.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Yeah.
So, well, no, wait. They might not play it on your channel, but they still play it before the video starts, and then they play it after that video ends. Before you go to the next one.
I need to check out.
And also, do they put the advertisements like not in the video, but the advertisement be on the side or underneath the video? Is it still there as well?
The thing is, I don't think that's true with demonetized channels. I think if it's demonetized, they remove all those ads, so you can't make any ad revenue.
Well, you're not making the ad rev from it. YouTube still is, though.
Yeah, well, no.
Before your video is played and they play a commercial or advertisement, then that's not you technically saying I get permission to these, ads, whether to be played on it. It's just part of like the YouTube thing. It's you see this commercial 1 or 2 before you get to the actual video, and then you decide on what commercial, what ads you play in your video.
You know what? Hold on. You know what? Hold on. I just want to say this real quick. Keep talking. I'm going to let me do just some quick research real quick. I just want to test this real quick. But you guys keep talking. I'm just going to unmute for a sec so I need to research. I need to check something real quick.
We stumped G. My goal is complete for the day.
I bet.
I said we just stumped G, so my goal is complete for the day.
You're like, yeah, my sole mission was to get G off, and I'm good. Oh man,
that happens every once in a while. I think, right? Every once in a while. I think there should be a point system for this. Bragging rights.
I can still hear you fools. I'm not gone.
I know you can hear us.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still talking my shit.
Yeah.
Brandon, B's gonna get you next though. He's gonna come up with the next one. I'm just gonna pause this for a moment. Yeah, you know what? I see that happening. It's not gonna be like we can keep talking. He's gonna tell us, all right, I need everyone to pause for a moment. I'm gonna look this up.
I know you just can't get me. I'm very strategic when to talk and when not to talk.
Okay. I just tested it.
So people on this podcast are witty as hell, man. I'm like, I ain't falling for that. Go ahead, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Okay, I just tested. No, no. If your channel's demonetized, there's no commercials played on your channel.
Even before,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and again, like I said, I'm not fully against demonetized. Yeah, I think if things go too extreme. So, like for example, let's say we bring somebody on this channel, they wanted to share their story about being assaulted. Well, I don't believe because of the context. I think context matters. That no, you shouldn't be here. You should be demonetized, or that should affect you. But if you're out here promoting like this is what you should do, oh, absolutely, get him the hell up off of here. I'm totally fine with that. Like, and again, I don't think I would have an issue if there wasn't such a monopoly on the public square. Like, if there was alternative, which there are alternatives, but there's no like alternative like YouTube right now. If there was actual like alternatives and competition, then I probably wouldn't care as much. But because there's only really one mega platform, that's when I'm kind of like, you have a little bit too much power here, and I just don't agree with, especially with little things like this. That's why I've always said, just put a rating system up. So when people go to the channel, and like you said, when the commercials play, right before the commercial plays, it shows this is an in rating thing. So if you don't want to see it, get off. Also, because I know that the other argument is a lot of corporations don't want their commercials being played on certain channels, which is fine. I think it will also help out because then these companies will be able to just kind of click on what what rating of channel that they want their commercials to be seen on. And so if you don't want to be seen on adult content, then it's not shown on adult. It's not showing on. I should say adult. I should say mature content. Then your
You know
commercial
what
will
I
not be.
Yeah.
think? I think it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, and this is why I say that. I'm not the videos, but the ads. So I was looking up gym bags a couple of days ago,
Uh-huh.
as well as I went to one of the websites, Gym Reapers, right? I went there off of Google. They got good stuff. I like going there and seeing what they have, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, I get on YouTube yesterday, the day before yesterday, and today. Guess what commercials I primarily see?
Oh, gym bags.
Gym Reapers specifically.
Yeah.
And then the
Mhm.
commercials of gym bags right underneath the video, like you were saying, B, that's like right there that you can see and click on. So, yeah. So I feel like you do have some control, but at the same time, is that guy pissing? Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. People be weird out here. Anyway, I feel like there are times when you do have control over what comes on your feed and what you're watching, what you're interested in, and there are times where you don't because it's just gonna pick up on like pretty much what you've been interested in or looking up
You're
lately,
talking about
and
the
it's just
algorithm.
show it to you.
Yeah, that's called the
Yeah, but the
algorithm.
whole thing, I was on Google, and I know that Google and YouTube have this thing, and
Mhm.
you can log on Google, YouTube from your Google account. A lot of things you can do on your Google, log in from your Google account now. And it'll just show you these commercials constantly, and it's like, well, I already looked up what I was looking up. I'm not saying that anyone likes commercials, but I can definitely tell you that no one likes the feeling of being watched and exploited.
Yep.
I hate the algorithms because like sometimes like when I'm doing some research or something, it's not something I want to constantly keep popping up, but because I searched it, right? Even like if you delete out your history, it's still there. So it's like damn, now all the stuff I didn't really want on my computer like that is there, is in the algorithm because I was just doing some quick search. I didn't want this to be part of my algorithms like that. It was just some quick research. It sucks. Like it just messes everything up. You
Well,
know,
let's even make it. I mean, even like me in a worse situation, if you just like happen to watch one video, or like sometimes a video will play because either I fall asleep or I'm just away. I forgot to turn off YouTube. I mean, why do you think I keep getting earwax videos? That literally came
I don't
from
know
me.
why you're getting earwax.
I'm
You
about to.
said earwax
Yes,
videos?
earwax like cleaning ear video. It's because one of the earwax videos was playing on my YouTube, and now I get those recommended all the time, even though that's not the content I search for. It just pops up now.
no, I'll look at a video. Uh, this guy he was talking about a lot of people doing tarot cards and witchcraft and stuff like that. I'm not lying. All of a sudden, he said it wasn't even me, but the machine was listening, and I kept getting all these tarot card videos and stuff like. I'm like, wow. So if I listen to something, and if it's loud enough, and my machine hears it, it could be part of my algorithm as well. I'm just like, okay.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like I said, it's not always bad, but I'll be honest. It's kind of how I wound up on Asian YouTube for a couple of months because I watched this one Asian channel, and then all of a sudden my entire YouTube gave me nothing but Asian videos. That's all I
Did it
got for
take
like
did it
4 months.
take you over there to the Philippines and or the Thai country, and they was talking about what's that street like the street that a bunch of tourists go down and everything. It's like a regular street, but they like the way that they act and how they're so yeah. Yeah.
I got that from the dating content. So when I went to the Asian stuff, I got a bunch of Korean stuff, a bunch of Japanese stuff, and a bunch of American Asian stuff.
I said
Is that
All
ever
I'm
since I
gonna
got
say
those.
is that I was looking up not even videos but information because I was thinking about buying a horse. I had thoughts about buying a horse for me. I like horses. No one wants a nasty dog. You want a dog? I was looking up horses anyway. That's what I'm trying to get at before my dog interrupted. And now you can only imagine what I get on my feed. It's not just horses. I said that everybody just went quiet.
Because you just stopped talking.
No, because that was it.
Oh,
That was it.
That was it. Well, I was on Instagram and I was looking up horses and stuff like that. Playing regular stuff, and then the next thing I know is I started getting horse videos and horse breeding videos, and I'm like, I didn't want all this. I just want to know how much a horse was, horse ranches out here, information about horses and stuff. Just
I just
general
want
information.
I just want to say this real quick. If you're saying dogs are nastier than horses, then you must have never been on a farm before.
No, I've been on the farm a couple of times. I
My
said
fault,
I
my
bought
fault,
a
my fault.
horse.
Let me clarify. You must have never worked on a farm in your life.
No, but I like horses.
Yeah, when you had to take care of one, tell
More
me
like a
then.
pony, maybe.
Like I said, when you gotta take care of them, you
Did you
understand.
work on a? Did you work on the farm, G?
I worked on a farm before, yes.
I thought so. I heard some resentment in that voice of yours.
The farm life's not for me. Again, I like the fun parts. I don't mind riding a horse. I don't mind petting a horse. I don't mind being okay. Hold on. Let me expand it. I don't mind petting animals. I don't mind feeding animals. I don't mind kicking them with animals. The problem though is taking care of animals. That's the part that people don't think about. People don't think about the smell, how much work it takes. It's a lot. It's not
mhm.
like the only when people say they want a horse, that's because they never had to work with horses. They never had to sit by a horse and just start just crapping all like right next to you. And then you gotta go ahead and
That
scoop it
sounds
up.
like a cow, G.
Oh no, it's horses too.
Have you ever had a dog and a horse and he shows more love to the dog and then the horse just comes by the dog and sits on the dog?
No, I never heard of that. I wouldn't be
That's
surprised.
a thing. Horses are jealous creatures and they will shit on what you love if you show them more attention than them.
I never heard of that. Probably.
God, I know horses were jealous. I know donkeys are jealous, but
You said donkeys?
uh, yeah,
Yep. The donkeys can be
'cause-
assholes too.
oh yeah, and they're protective. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why some farmers are going with donkeys instead of dogs now.
hmm Yeah, they'll guard the herd.
Because donkeys can be very, very vicious. But like
Yeah, they
letting
last like a few months ago. I'm looking I go back to looking at farm stuff here or there, like
Mhm.
gardening and farm stuff. And this one person, he had like uh, uh, um, they're like hamsters or something. He had like a whole bunch of them. I was like, oh, I want one.
Yeah.
But they're like a little bit bigger though than just your normal house hamster. I'm like, oh, okay, I want one of those. It don't seem like it's too hard to maintain. You know, and that's how I look at when it comes to farm animals. It's just the maintenance. Um,
Yeah. That's the part that people don't think about. It's that the
Guinea
maintenance is the
pigs.
problem.
like
What?
if
They
I
What?
were
would
guinea
have,
pigs.
huh?
They were guinea pigs. You said they were like hamsters?
Yeah, yeah, guinea
Guinea
pig. Yeah,
pigs. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We used to have one of those at my school when I was in elementary. We had a class from guinea pig.
Oh,
It's
really?
just loud.
Yeah. Yep.
Are they
Loud
loud?
little because they'll die of loneliness if you get one.
Oh, yeah, no, they definitely gotta have friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're social animals, so you just can't get one. You gotta get a few of them.
They definitely breed for animals.
Huh?
I said they're definitely breed for animals. That's why you got to get one. If you get two, you got to get them on the same sex. If you don't, then you just have a bunch of guinea pigs. Bunch
Mm-hmm.
of guinea pigs.
It's like a rodent, right?
That's
Yeah,
what they are.
Well,
it's the
yeah.
smaller It's the smaller version of that. What's that one giant one that's in I think Australia?
Oh, what you talking about capybara?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
small version of a capybara.
Well, I want to say that because capybaras, I think, have a different temperament.
That's a cool animal right there.
It
It's
is,
just,
but if you don't like, you need to have a pond, whatever, because they will
oh, you
destroy your
do.
house. Yeah,
You
they
do.
can be
Yeah.
destructive. Like they'll chew on
Yeah.
stuff.
That's definitely a wetland creature. You
Yeah,
gotta have a pond or something for all that.
yeah, but they have really cool temperaments. They have really
Yeah.
good temperaments.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean that's probably the only like big rodent I would say. Yeah, probably be cool to have, but no, but you have to like that. You'll probably need a farm, and you need to have like a special setup to take care of one of those things.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely talking about the farm life.
Yeah.
It's not something I'll just have, in the city or nothing like that. But
Well, I don't
if
think
I
you
was,
legally can. Like, yeah, some of those animals you legally can't have in the city.
hmm
Like, yeah,
Oh,
you'll.
speaking of animals, hey God, man, I'm not lying. A peacock. What? I posted on Facebook, so you probably saw it. But dude, I was chopping up some pineapple, and literally a peacock walked past my window, bro. I'm just like, what the?
That is weird because we don't have peacocks out here.
Right, right.
Yeah,
It walked out window. I'm like, what? So I went to grab my phone. I went outside. It was gone. And
yeah,
I'm like, what the
yeah. I
So
mean, you might. 'Cause, I mean, I know where you're at. But you have farms, so there might be a farm that has them. It might have got out, but
yeah, that's what I'm thinking because
yeah,
I looked it up and peacocks are legal to have out here in the United States.
yeah.
So
There's
you can't.
peacocks out here.
Oh,
No,
okay, okay,
not out here though.
yeah,
Yeah, not out here.
not here. It is a native bird to India, and
Yeah.
I found out they're part of the chicken family too. I didn't know
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. No, I
but
mean like what you call this a park I went to. Yeah, they have them. Like there's peacock. It's like a peacock park in like LA. But yeah, peacocks ain't normal. So if it's out here.
Well, there's a couple of different places out here that have wild peacocks. Out in Sandy Valley
Mhm.
and a couple places out here. And I'm not saying that native. It's just some people brought them over and they just got the breeding, and now there's just wild peacocks out here.
Yeah. No,
oh wow,
there's definitely wild peacocks, but they're not they're all in like specific locations.
The brown
yeah.
peacock. They're all brown peacocks.
No, this is the typical the blue peacock with the. It was a beautiful bird.
Yeah.
I was like, it was actually a joy to see, but man, it was like that was just way too random, way too random. 'Cause like I said, we don't have peacocks out here,
Mm-mm.
and it's not a native bird to this region, so it's just
Well,
like,
to this area. No, there's peacocks in this region. It's just not to this. It's just not
well,
going to
yeah,
this area.
yeah, you know, I was like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, like
okay, I know.
the big thing that's out
Okay.
here are ducks. Like
What?
we have ducks out here.
Ducks and seagulls. Which
Yeah,
makes no damn
ducks,
sense, to be
seagulls,
honest with
crows.
you.
What?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is there a seagull in the desert? And not just a couple, flocks of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's fucking gang wars over there between the ducks, the swan, the ducks, the seagulls, and the fucking what's the other one? The geese.
Oh yeah. Well, I think aren't ducks and geese the same thing? Just geese are the female ducks.
No, they're not,
No, they're
bro.
not the
Geese are
same.
fucking assholes. They don't give a fuck. They got teeth or like wedges of teeth. I don't know. Not like physical teeth, but like they got teeth.
Mhm.
They'll fuck you up. They'll chase you. Ducks don't run away from you. Some might give chase.
If they
That's because
have,
they've been hidden ahead. They don't know what's going on.
no,
Geese, they know.
if you get too close to to the ducklings, they'll chase you.
What? The ducks?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they will.
They might
Yeah,
chase you, but
yeah,
you can kick
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Geese, they don't give a fuck. They'll swarm your ass. They will swarm you, and they'll honk at you, and they'll laugh at you while they're doing all of that.
Donkeys do the
The
same thing.
geese are mean.
Donkeys can be
Would you
mean
rather
too.
be chased by ducks, or would you rather be chased by geese?
Oh, so
Uh,
I'll turn the duck to lunch. So
Right? That's what I'm saying.
as somebody who ate duck, it's not that good.
It's greasy, but I still eat it.
I
I don't know
hate
about eating a goose.
It really depends on
Actually,
the chef who's making it.
it.
It,
Yeah.
it really do because I had some duck that was just awful, but I also had some that was pretty delightful. So it just really depends who's cooking it.
Since we're talking about animals, and this is actually one of my topics, I'm glad we're talking about animals. Did y'all hear about the dire wolves? They brought them back.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep. What do y'all think about that?
Does it have a soul? That's the only
Uh,
question I have. Or when you look into its eyes, do you see its a soulless husk?
that is, I would call it a mutated wolf, because
Yeah.
they can't really bring the original back. They have to, use creatures that we already have today, kind of like fuse it together. So,
Okay, so
uh,
you actually know about it.
hmm so it's just a mutated wolf.
Yeah.
That
Well, no, it's not mutated. It's a genetically altered wolf. Is what it is.
yeah,
So it's not a dire wolf. It's just a wolf with extra attributes.
Yeah, it's just
pretty much.
genetically altered. Yeah, they went in and
Yeah.
altered his DNA and put what's called the dire wolf DNA in like a bunch of pups. And
Hmm.
So basically a wolf plus two. If you were to look at it like on a RPG weapon scale, you got a wolf, then you have a wolf plus two. That's your weapon.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about
Mm,
that.
Well,
I
look,
can.
are they going to be able to bring back the fucking dodo birds?
Oh, they might.
Because that's what I want to see. You gonna bring back a wolf, something that can go out and kill somebody. Why don't you just bring back a dodo bird? What can they literally? What can a dodo bird do?
Hmm.
Are they dangerous creatures?
Yeah, but you see, number one, I just don't think that we're supposed to be playing around with this stuff. And the fact that these people, cause like I said, I wouldn't mind them. Well, I do mind. But I wouldn't mind they doing this if they kind of like merge it with a dog, but you basically merged it with a freaking wolf.
Well, look, I've been watching too much anime and reading too many anime mangas lately to know where this is headed, and I have an idea where this is headed.
Yep. Because
They're
again,
gonna have a dominatrix wolf that they call mommy.
what? Okay. Oh,
Yes,
that threw me
it's
off.
going to happen.
I was expecting you
It's
going
going
that route.
that man. I told you I was reading a whole bunch of anime. No, no, I'm sorry, not anime, manga. I've been reading a whole bunch of manga on YouTube. Now people are creating their own manga on YouTube, and it's somewhat addicting. So, yes, I see this going down exactly like that in an anamorphic way.
So basically, you're telling me you hope to sleep with a dog in the future.
I didn't say I said people. Well, look, that's how I
Hey.
see it.
I,
You're a
I
scientist, you're trying to bring things something back. That to me, again, you're going to try and bring back a predator instead of trying to bring back something like, you know, a dodo bird or
well, I mean, I'm sure you remember. They did clone it. They did clone a sheep. Remember Dolly the
yeah, I
sheep? Yep.
remember that shit, but I don't remember what happened. That was just me reading a book in science class. What happened after that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if it lived or not.
Nobody knows. That's
Look
it.
it up.
That was it. They cloned the sheep, and you're like, "Oh, that's cool," and then that's it. There's no more information.
Well, I know because I think just during the Bush administration, I think they changed the law so you can't clone anymore. Like it's illegal.
So what happened to the sheep that was cloned?
Oh, it died in 2023.
So it lived for how many years?
It was born in '96. It died in it was yeah. It's born in '96. It died in 2023. My fault,
And
not
who got to
2023. My
eat?
fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. It died in 2003. Sorry about that.
So who got to eat the lamb chop?
Blech.
I mean, right? That's obviously a good question. If you're going to clone something and you're cloning it, and it's going to be like an exact copy, so then does that mean that we can eat it, or does that mean
Uh,
it's like
I, I, I'm
unhealthy?
I'm pretty sure it was in someone's McDonald meal.
I mean, do you want me to tell you something fucking totally disgusting?
I'm open
What?
for it.
Right now in Japan, because I watched this video, they're basically trying to repurpose our shit into edible meat.
I heard about that.
Yep.
I have not heard about that, and why?
Solve world hunger.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, B.
well, it's just like how in California they're trying to turn sewage into drinking water.
Yep. Yep. They're basically trying to make us drink our own shit out here.
So
I,
yeah,
Or
that
or
that's a
or or the or they're trying to make us eat cockroaches because it's good in protein.
hmm
Like they have cockroach powder now. Yeah.
they have that. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't know that that was actually
Yeah.
like
Yep.
if you go to other countries, then you eat bugs. Some countries eat bugs. Like I
hmm
think New Guinea or a couple of different places. That's
In
normal,
Mexico,
right?
Mexico they eat crickets and worms and scorpions and all that other stuff.
Here in the United States, we eat beef and chicken and pork. That's like our primary source of protein. Who the fuck is trying to change that? If I wanted that, if I wanted that, I would literally go to the country of or start farming farm raising my own fucking. Yeah, no. Did you see they have cockroach farms in China though?
They have cockroach.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have cockroach farms right
yeah.
here.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, literally, that's the question. Do you know how many cockroaches come out of like a cockroach egg sac? Like, why do you need a farm to do more?
Well, it's just like how they have lavatories with mosquitoes.
Yep.
Uh, I mean, you know, for experimentation, quote unquote. And it's gonna be your meals in the near future, or
I
it's
mean, they
gonna be
already do that. They have a thing in Africa that they do that. They get a net and it's like thousands of mosquitoes. It's a mosquito burger. It's really high in protein.
Oh, are you talking about that? What's called that African country where like they catch a bunch of mosquito and they make the mosquito burgers?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying to quell because they have too many mosquitoes. Yeah, I heard about that.
Like if you was born and raised off of it, that's one thing because it's part of the culture and it's like this is natural. But if you were born and raised off of like beef, cow, just cows, oxes, lambs, chickens, turkeys, actual like birds and fucking animal meat, then for you to go and tell somebody, okay, hey, look, this is what we have now, and we're gonna add this to like the roster of things to eat. Who the fuck is who? Who? You better not sell that shit in no fucking supermarket. If anything, I can see somebody's like selling some shit like that inside of Trader Joe's or like Sprouts, something alternative. And it's just like, oh my god, you have to try this. It's brand new. Yeah, it's
I mean,
exactly what
they already have. It's called Beyond Meat.
it's, it's called. What?
Beyond Meat.
Oh my fucking god! Did you guys know that they now have pork? It's a combination of beef and pork, ground beef mixed together.
That's not bad. I would actually eat that.
No, look. I'm not saying that it is bad. I just don't. I don't like to eat pork outside of pepperoni and bacon. That's it.
Okay,
That's
fair
it.
That's called a hot dog.
Yeah.
I don't see. I like to eat only beef hot dogs or turkey or chicken. Oh my god, yeah, no. But basically, you're right, Pete. It is called a hot dog already. I
Yeah.
just, just seeing it though, I'm like, okay, this is. I don't know if it's being sold out there, but it's being sold out here. Just go to the meat aisle, and there you go, some ground up pork.
Yeah, my only suggestion is never look at how a hot dog's made. You're not gonna like what you
I've
find.
seen how the hot. Well, I can't say I've seen. I have an idea. I think I seen the video before some years ago. As a matter of fact, I think you showed me the fucking video.
That would be something I would do. Hell yeah. But have y'all have does anybody know what's going on with Kanye or Ye?
Look, you want me to be honest?
Go ahead.
After I heard him about some black KKK shit or something like that, or him telling on people, I just said this. No, no
Did
more.
you did you
I'm gonna retain the image I have of Kanye in my head by just listening to his old music, none of his new music.
so you saw the black KKK stuff, right?
Well, I saw the not. I don't know if it's a video or not, but I definitely seen the. What did I see? I seen the statement that he had made. That's what I had seen.
Well, I know about they were the black KKK outfit with the what DJ Demons was doing. I didn't see the interview. I just know that he wore that to the interview. And I heard recent news about Kanye and what he said on Twitter. Uh, yeah.
What are you saying now? That I don't. What are you saying, Twitter?
I think G's gonna pull that up. Pull that up. I think.
What'd you say? The Twitter?
Yeah, I think it was a tweet on Twitter.
Mm.
When he announced. I think so. I'm not sure.
Oh, you know what? No, I want to do a better one. I'm gonna do a better one. Hold on. Already got pulled up. Can you hear that song? Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Listen carefully to the lyrics.
Yeah, I didn't hear a lot of the beginning, but I heard the fact that he said that he read a book, reenacted it, and he said he gave his cousin head, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And look at the thumbnail of that video was a geese effing. And we just got done talking about geese.
Kanye is tripping.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in his past, if he did or did not do that, right? But if he wants to address it,
that was his song. He said what B was talking about the Twitter. He said he did that till he was 14.
14.
Yep.
Was it like 10 to 14 or
It
something
was
like
something
that?
around there.
Something around there, yeah. Ah. Now, my only
I
thing, how
think
old was his cousin older or what? All right. But it's the same
I
age? I don't know.
I hope they were the same age.
I think they were the same age. I think they were the same age.
But that's still like, why put if you want to address it, why put it in a song? Why not just address it? There's different ways to address it.
He's an artist, man.
Yeah, but like when I read or hear people doing this and they're like famous, and it's not like I'm writing a book about the shit that's happened to me, but I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna sing about it. It's
Little
like
Nas X did it when he came out. He made a song.
he did. I didn't.
Yep, made a song. They went fully into it.
I
But
didn't. I know because I don't really listen to Lil Nas X.
Yeah, Lil Nas X, after he made his famous song, and I guess somebody was about to out him, he came out in a song. Boom. Well, I think he came out, then it did a big song that just went dive straight deep into it.
I still somewhat believe that he's just doing this for like clout.
Don't know, don't care, each his own. Like I said, no problem, no hate to the dude. Do what you want, but it's not something I'm into. But the problem,
Uh,
but the thing is that it brings up back back when we were in high school and people used to be like, guys used to sit there and say, "Nah, Kanye West, he a little weird and stuff."
that's true.
And yeah, it's like, damn,
There you go.
yeah, these fools
Mm-hmm.
call this out back when I was a kid. I'm like, y'all know what you're talking about, and come full circle.
Yep.
That's wild. Like
But
I get,
also, they didn't really say why. They just had a feeling. You know,
yeah.
they didn't really show evidence that to go with their superstition.
Okay, you know what? I can say it like this. How many times have I sat there and said off this podcast, be careful of the people that you listen to, you follow, because they're doing a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
You said that a lot.
I say it all the time. And I have no evidence. But the way they talk, then the way they move, is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those times, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm always right, but like B can vouch for me, and even Keith that time can vouch for me that the thing about me is that either I am right or I am wrong until I'm right. I am rarely these
What?
days, and
What?
Beats can vouch.
That's just saying that I'm not wrong,
Yeah, pretty much. B can
or
vouch for
I'm
me too.
wrong until I'm right, so I'm never wrong.
B can vouch for me. I've called a lot of stuff out and I've been right about. Even when people didn't believe me and say I'm full of crap. Sometimes it may take a couple of years, but at the end, I usually wind up being right. Not always, but I would say I got a pretty good record. Again, B can vouch for me.
I really can,
Okay.
you guys.
This fucking dude.
I like keep you at a humble state.
Mm.
I
Oh
did
man.
say I'm not always right. So, but I will say I have a pretty good percentage. Put it like that. I have a
Oh
pretty
man.
good percentage. All I'm saying is it's just kind of crazy with all those guys back then that used to talk about Kanye and like after so many years.
This comes
Yeah,
out.
I said. There's like the Lil Wayne and Birdman kissing. Now, yeah, when that came out, but that proved like okay.
I feel like when you're famous, you're just gonna do some weird shit.
Holly Weird, all type of other names. But yeah. Uh oh.
I
I
mean, I
said
mean,
we
go ahead.
Well, they keep all that weird shit out of Nevada. We already got enough of weird shit going on out here.
Well, yeah, but
oh yeah,
you got to get in Hollywood pretty soon too.
Yeah, we're getting a Hollywood, but not Holly weird.
No,
well
you're probably gonna get that.
you
No,
guys are you're in Sin City, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're in Sin City. You're like in Ground Zero.
okay, yeah, but I mean, it was. This is how it always is. It's normalized. It's normal. Over there, they're trying to do some shit and make it normal.
You, you know what? I don't want to keep this in so you can listen to what you just said.
Look, I don't. At this point, I know that Nevada's weird, or specifically Las Vegas. That's why I want to move to Henderson, so I can be out of the weird shit.
But you're still in Vegas, so.
No, I'll be in Henderson. I'll be out of Las Vegas.
But you're still in Nevada. It doesn't really matter, man.
I mean, Nevada's okay. You know, it's
Because
not.
even
It's
because
just
even
Reno. It's Reno and Las Vegas. That's what it is.
even when you go off the beaten path, that's where a lot of the shit goes down.
In Reno?
No, just when you go off the beaten path, that's where all the weird stuff be at.
Las Vegas is just weird in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. They got weird areas too.
Well, it's Vegas. Everybody knows that. It's Vegas.
It's not even. Hey, this is what I'll say. It's not weird. If you have a kink, it's gonna be here. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm. It's the name of
just like
LA.
just like being in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
LA.
I don't know about that.
Oh
I
no,
don't know.
we have a lot of that stuff. It's just that you gotta know where you gotta get invited. You gotta know where to find it. But they have a lot of it.
I
don't know.
I went to school in North Hollywood. I seen all the weird.
Yeah, trust me, it's out here big time. You just gotta know where to go.
I've been in one of the Hollywood parties in the hills, one of those mansions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
that's all.
Don't get me
But
wrong.
I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit later. I'm about to go into this shop I got to go into and get seen about. Hopefully they won't touch me.
Get touch one. Yeah. Hey, Adam.
That's I got to start heading out too. I got a phone call I got to make.
All right, I guess we could end this weird ass podcast here.
It's not. It did take a turn.
Yeah, it definitely did.
It did.
Yeah. So with that being said, I want to thank y'all for checking out this podcast. I want to thank B and Adam for coming on. Definitely appreciate it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button or follow, depending on your platform. Make sure to check us out on the various different audio platforms. Links are down below. We also on Instagram, opinion_Pete_network. Definitely need to work on that, but it's over there. Also, make sure to check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description Podcast, over there on YouTube. And with that being said, I want to thank y'all, appreciate it, and y'all have a good one.
And don't forget, if you have anything you want to say about your city that's weird, please comment below.
Actually, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. We haven't done. Let me say this. Oh, you know what? If you do comment, we will read them. So maybe not all of them, but if there's enough of them, we will read them. So make sure to comment down below. But with that being said, we're out. Have a good one.
Hey.
Deuces.